All right. So, I made this tool because I have about 5 worlds right now that I have perpetually online, and I can hop between them all, and I might add more. And the thing is, when you have to update the game, you have to close all the servers and then load each one by one and put in the information for it, and it's just kind of tedious, especially once you start getting more and more. So I just wanted a tool that I could just click on that and it would do it. So that's what I made. I'm just going to show you here. This is the first one I made for myself that applies to all my stuff. And it's going to do a thing. I changed the code slightly to do a thing so I could show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to run this, and boom, PowerShell opens, and it opens all the servers here, and you can see the CPU kind of launched up, and everything's kind of, it'll be fine. It'll just, take a minute to figure things out. You can see this one hasn't even started loading yet. I think that one, yeah, okay. Yeah, so, and now this jumped up to 100%. So I did a thing just to prevent that, and I just wanted to show you that so you understood. I'm going to close these. All right, so we're going to make that happen. So this is the actual script that you downloaded. You probably got a folder. It has all this stuff in it. And I'll leave this open, actually. I'll bring it down here, like that. You know what? No. Let's drag these into whatever text editor you want. I like to use Sublime Text, but you can open them in Notepad or Notepad++, whatever you want. I'll drag the README in here. Oh, and then this. And this one. Whoops. This run.bat is actually just a little thing, because sometimes there's a weird little error that happens and I'm not sure what the deal is. That just kind of circumvents it. We'll get to that at the very end. So, this is the README. Let's open it up full screen here. It just gives you some basic information, and then the initial setup process is here. It basically just tells you open up this file, the TMSL PS1 file, in a text editor, follow the instructions in the script, and save your changes. Then you can double click on the script, and it should just run. If it doesn't run, but it opens in a text editor, follow these instructions to make it so Windows always runs a PS1 file inside of PowerShell. I did come across some other issues as well, but yeah, that will solve the problem where it would just open up in a text editor. It's really, really easy. I know there's a bunch of steps, but it's just clicking some things, and you'll be done in like 30 seconds. All right, move over to the script here. So the top of the script just has some basic information again, and then all the caps like this are the instructions, and then the code is just a little bit stuff like this. So this one here, this is telling the script, wait 6 seconds before starting the next server. So you saw how all the servers kind of just exploded and it made the CPU jump up to 100%. This prevents that. It waits about 6 seconds, which is about as long as it takes for one of my servers to load up completely, and then starts the next one. You can change this to be higher if you want. You can make it 0. Doesn't really matter. It should work as long as you're not doing a bunch of servers. I would suggest making it even longer if you're doing a large number of servers. But also you got to remember that your computer's got to be able to run multiple servers too. So yeah, use your judgment. 6 will probably be just fine for you and for most people. This one here, this is the file path to the folder that holds the Terraria server executable file. I imagine you know where that is because you're running a server already, but if you don't know where that is, I'll just help you find it again. You can open up Steam, go to your library, right click on Terraria, go to manage, and then browse local files. Be annoyed that it doesn't pop up and click down here. And this here is the folder that it's in. A lot of people don't realize that you can click up here in the address bar, and it'll do this. And you can just go Control-C, or you can right-click, copy. Hey, right-click, copy. And yeah, then you can just paste it right in. Let's do that. This here is the most common place that it's found. You might not even need to change it. Mine is, I believe, somewhere else. Let's paste it and see if it changes. Yeah, slightly different. This next one is where your worlds are saved, and this is the automatic place that it always goes, unless you've moved it. Obviously, you gotta have your account name in here. And sometimes Windows does the stupid OneDrive thing, and it puts OneDrive in there. I think mine is actually like that. So we'll go find this. So this is pretty simple. You start at the documents. So let's just open up a new thing here. By the way, I recently found out you can middle click on icons like this and it will open a new one. I've been using Windows my entire life. So let's go to documents, my games, Terraria, worlds. Cool. And we can just do the same thing. Control C, and don't mind the silly names. Then we'll paste that in here. You got to make sure that the single quotes are still there, and you also want to make sure that there is no slash. If you just copy it, there won't be a slash, but a lot of people like to add a slash like that. Don't do that. That'll mess it up. And you also want to make sure that the single quotes are here as well. All good. So next, you want to add in your world names here. So did I close it? No, I didn't. Good. So, depending on your settings that you have on your computer, you might not be able to see this on the file. That's fine. You can just copy it and then type in .wld after. I'm just going to copy it here, and you got to make sure that it does say .wld at the end. It won't work if it doesn't. Don't mind me while I do this. Just take a couple seconds. Cool. All right, get all your world names in there. You can leave these blank, that's fine. Just make sure you don't mess up any of this stuff. Like, even if one of these little single quotes disappears, the whole thing will not work. So the standard port is 7777. That's the standard one in Terraria. You can use whatever one you want, really. You just got to make sure that you port forwarded it. I'm not going to go over how to do that. If you're running a server already and you're using this, you know what you're doing there already. Mine is this, so we'll go. Nope. And these should correspond correctly with the respective worlds here. So for your first world, this one, you want to have the port that matches that there. It doesn't really matter which port uses which world, but it just might get confusing if you had them set up a certain way before. So yeah, just make them match that way. And that's all you really have to do here. You can leave these. But if you're doing more than 20, like I put spots in here for 20, if you're doing more than 20, it's really easy to expand it. You would just, W21 equals single quote, then world name, .wld. And yeah, it's as simple as that. You could go as far as you want. Then you got to match it with this. So obviously, $P21, same thing. You can stop here if you're not doing more than 20. But if you do have more than 20, you do have to update these two sections as well. And it's the same thing. These are all the same. You can see the pattern. You can just do the next one. You would copy this, make it 21, and then make this 21, and then that's good. And you do that for all the ones you need. And then same here. You would copy this, make it 21, make this 21, and make this 21. Just like that, and you'd go as far as you need. And from there, you do not need to do anything else. Nothing past here requires any changes. at all. So you just save, file, save, and we'll see how that goes. So you saw how the first time it did run, it ran perfectly fine. So while we're here, close that, we'll bring this up. So we'll run this and see what happens. I have come across an issue sometimes. This one runs perfectly fine, and this is the exact same code. So let's see. Yeah, it just closed. Okay, so this happens sometimes, and I'm not 100% sure what causes it, which is why I made this run.bat. I found that I could just call this script through command prompt instead of PowerShell, and it would just like start PowerShell and run the script perfectly fine. There was no issues running it. So what this does is it's a batch script, so it runs command prompt. It says PowerShell open, and then use this script. So when we double click that, you'll find that it should work. And we'll open that. There, you see, now it's starting. And you can see the CPU running here. And it waits a little bit longer. And oh wow, it is actually jumping up a little bit. So I might actually change the wait to be a little bit longer, but you can see it doesn't actually get up to 100%. 96 is pretty close though. And yeah, it looks like we're pretty good. Ooh, 98. If this hits 100%, I will have lied. 99, I did not lie. Okay, so you can see it works. So just a couple more things. I'm going to wait for this to finish. I'm going to exit them now, though. So what else? Oh, something that I just included because it's fun. You can, if you can use this by just double-clicking this, you can go right-click, send to desktop, of course, like everybody knows. And you have a shortcut here. But you can go right-click properties and then change icon. And I included an icon here if you want, or you can just grab another icon off of off the internet. Hello? There we go. Why isn't that working? That was weird. Cool. There. And now we have that. You can do the same thing, obviously. If you need to use this one, you can also send that one to the desktop. There. And then change the icon. Yeah, easy peasy. I like to have a folder actually in just on my C drive for icons that I change, so I always know where to go. But yeah, that's fun. It's a nice little icon. And you just click that, and it will run, and you'll be good. Cool. Let me just make sure there's nothing else that I want to tell you. So we got this and this and this icons. Cool. Yeah, seems good. I guess if you need any help with anything, just leave a comment on the video or go to Reddit or something. Some Redditors did help me working on this. I got pretty close to finishing it, and then they just made it better, so thank you, Reddit. And OP Confused and Spalding D.